This is the Ocelot Lynx, one of my favorite looking and sounding sports cars in Grand Theft Auto Online. Normally, it has quite an expensive price tag of $1.7 million, especially for its pretty mediocre performance. However, this week it is quite a bit cheaper, 40% off, being only $1 million. So, in today's video, I'll be reviewing the Lynx, showcasing its customization, why it's just such a nice car to look at, and I guess we'll find out how its overall lap time and performance is. Let's get straight into it! The Ocelot Lynx was added into Grand Theft Auto Online as part of the Cunning Stunts update. At the time, a $1.7 million price tag for a pretty generic sports car was outrageous. I remember there were so many YouTubers saying just not to buy the car, and I still picked it up because I think the car looks absolutely fantastic, and because of that, I was like, yeah, I want to get it. Was it a worthwhile purchase? Probably not, but hey, you gotta have fun every now and then. This week, with it being discounted, it's still quite expensive at $1 million, but we'll see how the car is by the time we're finished upgrading it. Let's start off with the base things like armor and the brakes, then we can move our way on over to some cosmetics like the front bumpers. Now, one of the things I will say is this vehicle doesn't have an insane amount of options, but it's got a decent chunk, especially for how old the car is. So we got a painted carbon splitter. There's really not that much there. I actually like the stock one more. We got the sports grille, which is really weird to look at. We got the custom chin spoiler, and the best, the extreme aero front bumper. I just think that one looks the cleanest. I do have to give Rockstar credit though. All of these bumpers give incredibly unique and different designs, which is pretty rare when it actually comes to a lot of bumper designs nowadays. We got rear bumper designs as well. We can have a carbon rear diffuser, which kind of like bumps out the back. We can do a painted bumper and diffuser, which I actually like a lot. We got the painted rear diffuser, which also actually looks pretty clean. I like that one a lot. The carbon rear bumper and the stock rear bumper. I think I'm going to go for the painted rear diffuser. I'm just a big fan of that. I think the rounded design looks really clean with the vehicle as it is, and we also get the little bit of the carbon diffuser at the bottom. That looks sweet. We can do a roll cage in this car, and you know what? Why not? It'll look cool. We can do some engine upgrades as usual. We got some exhaust designs, which don't really do too much. You can barely even see the exhaust. We'll just go for a titanium, as blue is always cool. We got some hood designs, and they actually give you some decent options. We got a performance hood, which cuts little squares out. We got a double vented hood, which has little, like, ovals. And then we got a scooped hood and a carbon vented hood. Now, personally, I think the carbon vented hood is the best. Unfortunately, Rockstar doesn't let you do that hood on the base car. It's really irritating that you can't just get a painted carbon or just a normal vented hood like that. It's actually really irritating. But since we don't have that option available, I'm going to stick with the performance hood. I actually think it looks pretty clean, and yeah, it gets the job done. Alright, let's do some xenon likes on this car and make it all nice and purty. And here's your two livery options. You got Ocelot Racing and Zero Gas. Now, I actually think both of these liveries look really cool. Ocelot Racing has a big ol' Union Jack on the roof, and it's got some really nice blues and reds. And then my favorite is Zero Gas, especially with that super, super bright blue. So we're going to mess around with the liveries, because I'm always a big fan of them, and I'm going to see just exactly what color matches it. After messing around with the liveries and the color options, I've actually decided to go with Ocelot Racing. I think the Zero Gas looks incredible as well with the color design I've gone, which is a midnight blue, but I think Ocelot Racing is just a tad bit cleaner, especially with the red stripes that go down the center, so that is what we're going to stick with. We got some skirts we can put on the side, but there's not really much of an option there, so I guess we're picking that one. Now we got some spoiler options: the GT wing, the drift wing, the carbon wing, and the mid-level spoiler. Now, the mid-level spoiler is pretty cool because it does carry that Union Jack that says Ocelot on it. So, you know what? We're going to go for the mid-level. I actually think that looks pretty cool. Okay, what else do we have? We can lower the suspension, we move over to transmission, turbo, and to finish it off, we got our wheel types. As usual, I'm going to do the same wheels I always do. There's so many people that hate me for these wheel designs, but you're going to deal with it. And to finish it off, let's do that limo tint. I actually think this looks really clean, I'm not gonna lie. It's very rare that I'm always so in love with a vehicle's design, but as I said, I have always been a huge fan of the Ocelot Lynx, and it just looks so dang nice. From the livery options, while there's only two, I think they're both unique and really cool, and just the car stands out so nice in any color you give it. One of the major reasons why I have always liked the Ocelot Lynx for so long is because of its amazing engine sounds. I'm going to turn up my game volume so you can hear just how good the engine sounds on this vehicle. I mean, that is just such a nice sounding engine, and I don't care how many new cars Rockstar adds, the Ocelot Lynx will always have a very incredible engine sound. Now we arrive to some of the bad news, being the performance of the Lynx. The top speed is meh. It's 121.5 miles per hour, which, I mean, isn't bad. It ranks it within 35th out of the 104 sports cars available in the game, but it's more the lap time that is a pretty big red flag. It features 80th place out of the 104 sports in lap time. That is really bad. I mean, we're going to find out how bad it is by doing the course on my map here, but yeah, just from a couple test drives here and there, this car does not feel like anything impressive. So let's do it. In 3, 2, 1, full speed ahead. Let's see how the Lynx can do. Something I've noticed when just messing around with this car on a couple practice runs is that, holy crap, does this thing have the worst turning radius I have legit ever seen. And I'm not even joking. We are on a straightaway right now, and in just a moment, you're going to see on our mini-map, we're going to have to make a decently sharp turn. And watch how bad this car turns the corner. I mean, that is absolutely horrendous. That was full on the stick. So, yeah, you got to be super, super careful with the Lynx. Rolling around certain corners here, you just got to basically hold the brakes so you don't crash. It's definitely a massive problem with the vehicle. Now, after getting used to the car, it's not that bad, but still, it's definitely going to affect our lap time. If we could get a lap of around 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I'll be happy, but that's never going to be possible. So I'd say 2 minutes and 30, and we've got a decent lap time for the sports car. Anything over, and yeah, it's a big fat L. Alright, well, full speed ahead so far. Come on, keep on accelerating, try not to crash. Nice, okay. Seems like we're doing pretty decent so far. There's no oncoming traffic here. We're going to hug this corner tight so we don't need to turn the vehicle, and good. Okay, that was a pretty decent start to this lap. We are at 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock right now, and we're going to start rolling around these corners. I was really worried for a second that car was going to turn into me, but as you can see, it didn't. But again, look at that turning radius. I mean, holy bad. We almost didn't make that turn. Thankfully, I was able to, but yeah, I mean, the Lynx is just not where it's at when it comes to handling. All right, let's try and get around this corner. Not too bad. Okay, let's hold this tight. Okay, good. Oh, God, don't crash into the tractor. All right, we're fine. We're fine. It's actually not doing as bad as I thought it would through these cornered bits. I don't know. Sometimes the car does okay on corners. Sometimes it does absolutely atrocious. And it's very hard to find a middle ground in between. But we're at 2 minutes on the clock right now with 1 mile to go. That's not the worst thing ever. Hopefully we can complete this mile in a faster than normal time. I mean, if we're going 120, that means we can do it in a decent chunk, but guess we're going to find out. Right now we're just making sure we don't crash. Full speed ahead. 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. 0.4 miles. Oh boy. All right. Hold the brakes. Don't crash into the tractor. All good. All right, more brakes. Roll around this corner here. And you know what? Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. 233. That's still pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the Pariah could probably have done that in 2 minutes and 18, 17 seconds to put into your mind. But, I don't think this is the worst lap time ever. I will say that. So, at the end of the day, what can I say about the Ocelot Lynx? Well, its handling is pretty meh. I mean, it's got actually pretty good grip. You can see that here. I'm turning the stick left and right as hard as I can, and the car really doesn't have a grip problem. The problem with the vehicle is that it just doesn't turn. I mean, you can literally full turn it, and it's like the wheels are stuck at 2 degrees. So it's a pretty annoying problem. The Lynx also isn't that fast, and it's not all-wheel drive, so its acceleration, while decent, isn't, anything to die for. At the end of the day, the Lynx is not a car you're going to pick up because of its performance. You're going to pick it up because it looks amazing. And that's kind of how I stand with this vehicle. I believe the Ocelot Lynx is one of the nicest looking cars in Grand Theft Auto Online, and that's why for anybody that thinks this car looks nice, I'd recommend to pick it up. Especially $1 million is literally chump change when it comes to how fast you can earn money nowadays. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.